Good evening, everyone, viewers or otherwise on YouTube. Today, I wanted to do something special. You know, being Valentine's Day and all. I had actually quite a while wanted to do a cooking channel about quick and easy stuff. You know, stuff that would normally want right now. It's been a long day at work. Want to make something quick, eat it, get on with the rest of my evening. But today being Valentine's Day, I thought I'd do something special. I'm going to put a bit more effort into it this time. And I'm going to make something amazing. Because not having a significant other might make going out on a date a bit problematic. So I'm not going to let that stop me from having a great dinner. I'm going to make it myself, and I'm going to show everyone that it's awesome. Or, well, we'll see how it goes. I have this salmon in front of me. My plan is to do pan-seared salmon, hollandaise sauce, and vegetables, some appetizers to go with it. We'll see how it goes. And I keep talking like this because I want the fish to thaw as much as possible. It's been out, it's been almost 20 minutes since this thing's been out here. Of course it's still frozen. This Wild Pacific salmon fillets. I had about half of these in package. They were really good. So I'm going to have them again. And I'm going to start getting some pots and pans out to plan this meal out for everyone watching. It says 0, but that doesn't stop people from watching this later. As is going to be the case with all of my cooking videos, I'm going to try to make it quick so you can see it all the way through live. So I'm going to need something to obviously pan-sear the salmon in. That's going to be this. For the hollandaise sauce, I'm going to need a bowl that will hold 3 yolks and a little bit of water. I will need a small saucepan. I don't really have a saucepan, but I do have a little pot. Little pot with some stuff on it, which will come right off actually. I'm just going to rinse the pot out. The hollandaise sauce is basically butter and eggs, so the eggs will be mixed in the bowl. There will be some butter, which I will stick here, and that will be combined and make that. I need a whisk, since I don't have the food processor for it. I thought I had a whisk. I'm pretty sure I have a whisk. Spatula for the salmon, though. This is good to have. Oh, there's the whisk. Okay. So the whisk will go here. Getting everything all together. Preparation is important. And actually, speaking of preparation, I'm going to start preheating the elements just so they're all ready to go. So that should about cover it. So that's the hollandaise sauce. Oh, I need another pot because I'm going to be making some asparagus as well to put that onto. Let's see if this is big enough for the asparagus. Yep. There's the asparagus. No, I want the bigger one. So put this one away. Get a bigger pot. This is the biggest pot, but it's one of the bigger ones. Pot, asparagus. I will make it close enough. So that will go there. I'll start preheating some water, so that will start boiling soon. Because water does take time to get to a boil, especially with this much water. 2 steamboat, 3 steamboat, 4 steamboat, 5 steamboat. I think that's enough water. Put that there. Get that going. Now, I'm just going to check doing this from a recipe in a book. I'm going to see how much butter I actually need for this hollandaise sauce. 3 large egg yolks. Also calls for lemon juice, which I don't have. ½ pound of unsalted butter. Now, I imagine that this butter in chunks. Now, the butter I probably should have warmed up too ahead of time, but I'm going to start putting the butter. What the heck? Oh, right, because I rinsed out the pot. That's why it's steaming. Anyway, that's fine. I'm going to start heating up the butter. A large spoon. going to estimate butter, which is probably not good. It's a 2 stick. So I'm going to take the top, I don't know, quarter of this off. And so I'm going to cut down to about here. And that's going to be my amount of butter. And that's going to melt slowly while everything else cooks. And I'm also going to start heating up some olive oil in this pan, because when I put the salmon in there, I want it to be hot. Let's see. It says you can do this with canola or vegetable oil, but again, I want to do this the best way possible. And I have lots of olive oil, not so much of the other stuff. So actual layer of it down. Using this and not the really special olive oil, which I have here, because that will be for later. Let's spread that around. Wash my hands a bit so it doesn't get too slippery. Let's heat that up quite a bit. This is starting to go. Okay, let's just make sure I'm getting the right thing on the butter. So actually, yeah, the butter should stay on low heat because I need it to get just before boiling and then I need to mix up the eggs, which I haven't done anything with yet. So I'm gonna hurry on this part. Stick that in there. Okay, some more butter. And I plan to reuse a lot of this stuff too. And I think it says just the yolks for the eggs. So I was going to try to find something else to do with the egg whites. But I have an interesting idea, which I will get to later. So stay tuned for that. Because I'm going to make a few different things here. It's going to be a very fine multi-course meal by the time I'm done with this. Compares favorably to any fancy restaurant you might go out on Valentine's Day. Where's that butter-wise? That's pretty close to what I wanted for butter. Let's get 3 egg yolks out. So I still have 3 egg yolks. Yeah, I'll do it over here. Oh, good, just enough. Not this bowl. It doesn't have sharp sides. I can't really do anything with it. I will use this for the egg whites, though. I'll save it for later. I need a big bowl with sharp sides. And you know what? Again, thinking I have to separate these out. I have one of, oh, actually, I have these bowls. These are, well, I'm trying to think which one would be better for a whisk. This I gotta take off the heat because it's still heating up too fast. This, the olive oil. Yeah, it's gotta get a bit warmer. I'm getting a bit indecisive here, but I am going to see. Oh, it's been 9 minutes already? Wow. Okay, I'm slow at this. Yes, this will be better for a whisk than the other option I had, which was this bowl. See, it's got a bit of a flat bottom. The whisk is going to have troubles there, I think. Keep in mind, the recipe calls for a food processor or blender to do this, so I'm warned. Yes, yolks. So yolks and not cracked eggs. Key difference here. And again, I don't have a yolk separator. I don't know how many people that do. I've seen them in stores, actually. I don't think they're that expensive. So I'm going to take the eggs, And I have 2 bowls. So the whites are going to go in here, the yolks are going to go in here. And I will actually do it over here, so you can see. Okay. So again, without a yolk separator, I'm just going to very carefully spread them out when I'm doing it, when I'm cracking them. So, I crack here, put the egg white out here. I just use the 2 sides of the shells to try to separate it out as best as I can. It's not going to be, again, not going to be quite as good as an actual yolk separator, but I'm making it work. And then the yolk goes in here, kind of broken. The rest of the white goes in here. And I conveniently next to the garbage, so I can just go like that. Should use a green bin. Don't really use it enough to justify taking it out every night. But, round 2. Again, the yolk is in my right hand, everything else is in my left hand, and everything in my left hand will go in. So the egg whites. Let a bit more fall out of here. See if I can pull a bit more of the egg white off of this yolk. I think I'm succeeding. A little bit more fall off. I hear egg white omelets are really good. I've never tried that. But there's only so many things you can try in one meal, for better or for worse. So there, that goes the egg white. Just a little bit more trailing off of here. Just grab that. Then the yolk goes in here. And the rest goes in the garbage. 3 of 3. Again, egg white goes in the white bowl, or will if it doesn't stop dripping. It starts dripping. Try to cut it off from the yolk. Try to get a bit more of the yolk in. Or sorry, not yolk, the white. Try to pull out as much of that as I can. Now the ones you see in stores, they actually have like a suction cup you can take to the yolk and pull it out. So I'm kind of going about this backwards. There goes some more of the white. There's the yolk. Some bit more white in there. And in the garbage. Can wash my hands again. Egg yolk, kind of messy. Now is when things are going to get a bit intense. Water is starting to boil there. That's good. How's my olive oil doing? It's warm. I will turn the heat up a bit here. I'm going to stick these off to the side. I'm going to blend the yolks in a bit of hot water until smooth. And then when the butter begins to bubble, slowly drizzle the butter in. Topping to scrape down the sides as necessary. And leaving the whitish layer in the bottom of the pan. Season with cayenne and salt. Maybe, well, we'll see. I might have cayenne pepper. And keep it in a warm spot, but not directly overheat. That will be interesting to find as well. So are we ready? Well, let's start heating up this butter. This does not seem like enough butter now that I'm looking at it. So I will add a little bit more butter. Yeah, I think if I get this chunk here, that should do it. There we go. And we'll see if that gets us to the right consistency. That will melt slowly. While we whisk this, it says about 10 seconds vigorously. Until smooth. So that's going. I think that's pretty smooth now. And so I will drizzle the butter in while whisking once it is evenly melted. In the meantime, I'm going to put the fish in. Fish fillets. I need just a bit more oil to make sure everything is submerged. It is starting to steam now, so that I know it is hot. So we'll go with that. What I really need to make sure doesn't happen is that I don't want the skin to stick to the pan. We've got 3 fillet. Oh, this is a tiny one. I will have maybe 2 small ones now, and I'll have a big one for lunch, or vice versa. We'll see. Oh, that butter is starting to splash a bit. I think that's a good sign. Oh, it is starting to bubble. Okay. Then these will thaw a little bit longer. It's just starting to sizzle. I was saying it doesn't want the white stuff. So the white stuff is what's going in right now, actually. Let's fix that with a spoon. One of these spoons. Make sure the curdled stuff. Can't really see. You see the white stuff on top. No, you kind of can't. Anyway, there's small bits of white stuff. You don't want that getting in there. I want to just drizzle in a little bit of the what's called clarified butter, so the white stuff is removed. Stick that there. Whisk that in a bit. So you get to about, oh, I forgot to put water in. Okay, let's fix that right now. Tablespoon of hot water. Very rough. Wait for the sink to heat up. 1 steamboat, 2 steamboat, 3 steamboat. Turn the pressure down a little bit. That should be hot. About now. Whisk that in a bit more. Promising already. To get the rest of the butter, and just make sure just the clear part gets in, not the white part. Gotta get like a strainer or something, I think. And there's that. Whisk it in. We'll eventually get to the consistency of heavy cream. Now it's true, you don't want to cook the egg because then it becomes curdled egg texture, and you don't want it to be runny or lumpy. So it's a very fine balance with how this sauce works. And now with most of that clear part of the butter gone, I'm going to whisk this together and see what happens. Still very runny, and I'm going to see why that is. But first I am going to finally get to putting these pieces of salmon in. If I can find the scissors to cut these with. You know what? No time for scissors. I'm going to use a knife. And I'm going to use a cutting board. Because I know I have scissors around. I just don't really have time to look for them. Nope. No scissors at all. Okay. Strange. I think there are some in the other room. Oh, here we go. Scissors. Now, whisk this a bit more. Maybe just take some time to set. Meanwhile, cut the fish. This is the biggest piece, so it can go first. Spread this around one last time. In we go. Oh! That I was not expecting to happen. Ow! Oh! Careful. You want to be careful. Alright, I'm going to stand back this time. I might even wear an oven mitt. I will use tongs. Well, I did put it on high heat. I was promising to do that. And one more. I'll just poke that around. Okay. Clean up this cutting board and figure where we are. So we have a sizzling hot pan with some, hopefully, searing salmon. It is still a bit on the uncooked side, but I can see brown parts starting to come up. So it's searing. I've got some rather thin hollandaise sauce, and I'm going to find out why that is. And a bowl of egg whites that I still have to do something with. Okay, so I'm just over here reading. So you do need something acidic, like lemonade. Okay. Otherwise they coalesce and break down to cool, more thick, creamy. Too cool, so chunks, the tang reheated. Well, this is getting really, really smoky. I think I want to fix that and turn the heat way down. And I could just put it on an oven mitt. This is looking like a really nice color, so that's coming along well. I'll keep whisking this. Actually, I will start cooking the asparagus too while I think about what else to do there. I mean, actually, it is possible I may have a lemon. I don't usually eat lemons because I don't like sour stuff. But I do have to make a lemon juice. So I will squeeze some lemon juice into here. Just a bit. Squirt. Whisk that in. I am still thinking I didn't actually do enough butter. So, hot. That's actually a good sign. I think that means it is almost ready to flip. Wow, this is actually cooking very, very fast. I'm going to bring the butter back over here. And I'm going to stick another chunk or so of butter in. Put another tablespoon of butter. Melt that up. Wash the asparagus. Where am I time-wise? Oh, 30 minutes. Wow. Time flies when you're having fun. Anyway. So my plan is to cut the asparagus just above this elastic here. Now, since I didn't actually use that for the salmon, I am okay cutting this with this knife. So I'm just going to go, and I want whole pieces of asparagus. This is actually way too much. But I'm going to go like that. And I am going to stick them in the pot. First I'm going to see if they measure up to the pot. If they do, they're in the pot. This is the butter one, so that's fine. Get a little bit buttery, that's not too bad. Stick that in there, let them simmer. Mix the butter up a bit. Now this is some lemon juice, keep whisking. It's getting there. Where are we with the butter? Almost there. That fish is very surprisingly close to done. Let's just stick that in slowly. Just drizzling it in. Again, trying to move this curdled bit to the side. That didn't actually succeed in very much. Well, I'm going to try something. That something being swirling this around the bowl. Okay, since I used this before, I'm going to use it again. Well, it's not gelatinous by any stretch. But it's not watery either. Now again, maybe that's where some more warm but not on direct heat will come in. Or do we need more butter? Where's that? Well, I can definitely see it's an emulsion. I don't know if you can look up close. I don't think that's thick enough. From my experience, hollandaise sauce has, I don't say double the viscosity, but maybe 60% more. So the salmon's still going, so I've still got a bit of time. All right, put another most of a tablespoon of butter in there. And keep in mind, this is actually from a stick of butter. This isn't margarine, so you know that's not the reason why this is going all wrong. But hey, this is the very first time I've tried to make hollandaise sauce. I'm doing it on camera, so live video, not really going to work out perfectly. But hey, sometimes it's the thought that counts, right? And it's the same ingredients, so it's going to taste awesome no matter what. I'm going to just, I think I have to poke those with. Yeah, I can do this. Poke these around, mix them up a bit. They're still a bit hard. Fix that with some time. Needs a bit more time. First salmon is getting very close to done. These, I guess, have to go away because there's not much else I can do with these. But one remaining egg can go back in the fridge. I guess I'm not having omelets this weekend. And I will pull out the rice because that's my next trick. As if I haven't done enough tricks already. That will be my next trick. You'll see in a second what I'm going to do with the rice. Because it has actually been a surprising amount of time. Time has just flown by. It's 32 minutes now. For me anyway, this has just flown by. I'm going to mix this butter up a bit. It's just starting to sizzle. Maybe that's what I didn't do. I didn't wait long enough last time. This is not warm at all. So I'm going to wait for this butter to heat up just a bit more. I didn't hear what's sizzling where, but this butter is just heating up. Turn that heat up a little bit more. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I am going to whisk this in. Take a spoon out. This ought to do. I think it's supposed to be the high heat, I think, that does it. Or, well, the small amount of heated butter. So I need some more of the clear stuff. There we go, that's all drizzled in there. Well, if this doesn't do it, I don't know what will, to be honest. So we'll see what the implications are of some slightly runny hollandaise sauce. So, let's try that. I think that's better. It's not, again, not quite custard, but definitely creamy. I think we'll have to call it there. Salmon should only be flipped over very quickly, so I'm going to put that off as long as possible. I'm going to use this bowl now. The one I didn't use for the eggs, I'm going to use it for rice. Take this rice scoop. because what I'm going to do is dip the rice in the egg whites. And I'm going to make a kind of fried rice appetizer. Now what I'm almost going for is kind of bruschetta. I like bruschetta. And I know it seems like I'm a bit far away from that now, but we'll get back to it. Or garlic bread, maybe. Because I always like the idea of combining rice with things that normally you do bread with. It's a bit strange. Like you wouldn't normally not think of rice and cheese, but the combination is actually really good. I'm going to stick this in here for 30 seconds. This is the microwave. It's probably not long enough. We'll see how that goes. This is getting dangerously close to done. This is actually moving. This is moving. This is not moving. This third one here is not quite ready. This one is, I would say it's actually ready to flip. I'm going to flip it probably when that's done. So my plan actually, I'm going to get the plate out for this because I'm going to start plating these. Especially if they're that close to done. I'll wash my hands. I have a container here that I'm going to use for my lunch tomorrow, so I'm going to take this time, which I don't really have, but it's got to be done. So I'm going to clean this out. And then this is going to be where all my lunch stuff for tomorrow goes. So now I have to decide which one of these I want for dinner. And I think I'm going to want the freshest ones. So I'm going to take the 2. I think that's a good symbol. And then this one, which I will flip now. That was nice. That looks like some very nice... Oh, I knew I missed a step. I'm supposed to actually press this down to make sure there's good contact. And it did actually cook eventually. I thought that was red, like pink fish. It's actually brown. So we are good there. Where's my poke? There's my poke the asparagus fork. Poke, poke, poke. They're getting softer. Not quite where I want them to be, but pretty close. This I can turn down to almost lowest. I still don't see any people on there. 37 minutes of being live. Kind of like my Valentine's Day. Just me. But, thanks to this video, anybody can come back to this Valentine's Day. See what a great art or mess or whatever you call this thing in a kitchen is. And we'll relive it. Almost ready to flip that one. Just going to get the rice out. Yeah. I think that's cohesive and not... No, it's not. It's got to be a bit of cohesion for this. So I will flip this. Stick that over there. This is almost ready to go, not quite. I will wait till that hits 10. I don't know if I waited until that hits 10. Okay. So I succeeded in one good thing, which is that the skin stayed on this time. Last time I tried cooking this, the skin just stuck to the pan. The skin stayed on. There is still some white stuff coming out. Could be considered a bit unsightly. I'm going to brush this off lightly. But, again, not quite sure how to avoid that just yet. But it's pretty close. And this seems pretty cooked. Maybe I'm leaving it too long. I'm going to stick this one in my lunch bag. I'm going to turn this over. This looks cooked. You still see some pink on the bottom. Well, not pink, but like, yeah, light pink. The cooked kind, not the uncooked kind. And this I'm going to flip over, and that should be ready to go very soon. Now, actually, I'm going to keep this. I have some ciabatta bread. I'm going to do something different with that. I'm just going to do some regular oil and vinegar. So what I have here is this rice square cube thing. So I'm going to rinse this off once, because I know it does have some egg yolk on it from the hollandaise sauce. So let's just quickly clean that cutting board. Okay. Use a fork. Well, I'll use a spoon for this because I want to. some rice in there. And some cheese. I have some cubes of cheese in here. And this is something I've never done before. I don't know if anyone's ever done this before. This is no recipe. This is just me making things up as I go along with this rice. So I don't know if the hollandaise sauce only. Oh, this looks done actually. Yeah. Again, the top's only supposed to just be barely touched. The skin is almost on. That I'm just going to keep warm. This frying pan I can now use for other stuff, which is good. I will get to that in a sec. I'm going to use half a cube of cheese in here, almost at the top. Stick a bit more rice in. Let's see if I can make this a proper rice cube. There, we've got a rice cube. And I wanted to put some garlic on it. What else is in bruschetta? There's cheese, there's bread, there's sometimes tomatoes. I did actually get some tomatoes. I don't feel like going that far right now just because I'm running out of time. You know what? Yes, let's do tomatoes. Where did I put the tomatoes? Actually, I even got mushrooms too when I went to the grocery store today. But that's not quite in the cards. I also, well, okay, I have asparagus. I don't need to make a salad. I was thinking, I do have the ingredients to make a salad. Yeah, keep whisking that, because otherwise it forms a bit of crust on top. Stick this over here where it's warm. Actually, let's stick this over here where it's quite warm. Again, not on direct heat. Oh, this is direct. This is pretty close to direct heat. So let's do that. Let's keep that low. Let's keep this low because I'm going to use it for the rice. And that's my plan. I'm going to take this rice cube and I'm going to stick it in there. I'm going to stick some garlic powder in with the egg. Oops. What else can I do? I have garlic, and I will. So I'm going to put some rosemary in with the salmon. So rosemary, salmon. This end is going to be the salmon end. So there will be some rosemary on the salmon just for flavoring. That's how you close it. That's almost done. Yeah, there's not really much I can do with tomatoes on here, is there? Well, not this one anyway. Next one. I'll grab a little bit of rice, some cheese, and I mean that is. It really is tiny. 42 minutes in, I'm going to see what I can do with a small almost like a butcher's knife, but it's tiny. I'm just going to dice this tomato up as small as I can get it. Tomato, that's actually quite difficult. Juice just gets everywhere. So maybe this wasn't the best idea. But again, going for sort of garlic bread bruschetta type deal. So that goes in there. A little bit of rice goes on top. Start putting it into the cube. Let's see what happens when I press the cube together. The tomato comes right out. Okay. I need a little bit more rice to hold it together, I think. Okay, that's a little bit better. It's not perfect, but it's close. And when that starts getting fried together, that'll be a bit better too. So, last one. I'm only going to have 3 of these. Just to keep them extra special. I'm going to stick just a little bit of tomato in there. Just a little bit of cheese. I'm going to cut that up into a few little pieces too. Again, so they don't break up the cohesiveness of the rice. So that's in there, that's in the middle. And then on top, there's some more rice. Just jam that in. Again, the more it's packed down, the more it'll hold together. Down, squeeze. Let's try that again. Lift the lid first, then pull this side out. Okay. Note to self, tomatoes in the rice cubes are probably not the best idea. This one's actually falling apart. I'm going to stick this one back in. Yeah, this is just getting messy and wasting everyone's time. So I'm going to just finish this one up, push that together, lift it up. It's almost a cube. So my plan now is to take some tongs, not those tongs, so I use those for other things. Take these tongs, dip the rice cube in the egg white, and then stick it in the frying pan. So just douse that in there. Hope it doesn't break apart completely. And into the frying pan. And that's on low heat, so it's not going to do anything right now, but let's turn that up a bit. We'll see it start to cook. You get a bit of the fried rice effect. That's what I'm going for here. Now, this one's kind of falling apart, so I'm going to stick that on here before it gets too much in pieces. They are starting to cook. Again, just a way to use some leftover rice and some leftover egg whites, so I don't need to throw these all away. Of course, I might make a bit of a omelet with them later. So that's going on there. Yeah, there's not really much more I can do with it at this point. So my salmon's there. I don't want it to get cold. No, it's still warm. This I will leave. I know some say clean the kitchen while you're cooking, and to a certain extent I'll do that, but I also want to get food, so a bit of moderation. Need a little bit of work for me later. This is kept warm, the hollandaise sauce. So I would say now that the asparagus is done. It's cooked, it's boiled. I'm going to stick a few pieces on here. I just want to see what, now I'm going to start thinking about angles and how I want this to look when it's set up. So I want there to be a space in front of it. I actually want the two pieces to be front and center. I want you to see two pieces there. You need the asparagus along the back. So I'm going to pick up the asparagus, try not to burn myself. Stick that there. Stick a generous amount because I'm going to want to eat a lot of this. See how many pieces do I want? I want 5, I want 8. Not so many that it looks crowded, but enough so that it looks plentiful. 5. I think I'm gonna go for 8. So yeah, pick up a few more of these. Not that one. That one doesn't look very good. It doesn't seem to have a leaf thing at the top. 6. 7, and 8. So that, just put that into a neat bundle. Hollandaise sauce will go along the top and the center. And the rice cubes will go just along the side here. So once these are done, oh, that's not good, that sort of came off right there. Those are coming together. This, see, that's the thing. I think this really should be warm. The hollandaise sauce. That's going to be a problem. Now, I don't really want to microwave it because that might make it too hot and disturb the consistency, but I don't see any other way really. Yeah, I'm going to have to resort to that. But I'm going to leave that to be my last step. I'm going to do one more thing before I do that, 50 minutes. We're actually coming up to an hour, and I will keep it under an hour because we're almost done, I can promise that. This plate here is going to be the oil and vinegar plate. So I've got some ciabatta bread. I will slice that on what's left of my cutting board. Some fresh bread from the grocery store. This is going to be a problem. Okay, let's try this. What did I cut? I was cutting cheese with this, so that's alright. There, I can cut that. I'm just going to get 5, maybe 4 pieces of bread. I am only cooking for one, keep in mind here. One maybe in a meal for tomorrow. So there's my bread. I'm going to put the more special olive oil. This is infused olive oil, wild mushroom, and sage. So I'm going to stick that in the middle of the plate. And I'm going to get some balsamic vinegar. And I have a little bit of that up top. This I'm going to flip around a little bit more. Just in there, that should let the egg parts cook while I get this balsamic vinegar out. Again, this is, my oily hands make it hard to open it. Well, I kind of need to do this. Can't really have oil and vinegar without that. Yeah, that made it even harder. Maybe one of these things will help. Nope. Why is opening this balsamic vinegar so difficult? Oh. Let's see what I can do here. Flip this over a bit more. Okay, try this towel. I'm trying to get as much grip on this as I can. This is really difficult. I don't know, they bread with just olive oil? That's the only one I have. This kind of makes things very difficult. Do I have some kind of can opener? This is like that's a bottle opener. For a wine bottle. I'm not going to corkscrew this off. What is this even for? Yeah, this is going to make things difficult. But But you know what? Some things cannot wait. Because we're now almost 56 minutes. And again, I want to keep this quick. So we have our olive oil with bread plate. And I'm now going to stick this in for a grand total of, oh, this is really starting to get thick. Okay, maybe not quite. But I'm going to stick this in for 10 seconds. You know what, not even 10. I'm going to stick it in for 7 seconds. 2, 5, 6, 7. Just to get a little bit of heat into there. Again, I don't want this to get anywhere near boiling. No, it's still like lukewarm. I can put it in for, I think a full 10 seconds now. 1 steam boat, 2. Okay. That is visibly warm, and now it's starting to break apart. So I think this is exactly where it needs to be. Just let it cool down at this point. It's just at the point where it gets too hot. So whisk that in. Make sure these are still warm. They are. And then just drizzle this on top. Actually, I'm going to do this where you can see it. I don't know this face. This has to be whisked together a bit more. Alright, so that is whisked. And that is going to go on top of here. Well, okay. It's a pool. And I'm going to stick these using the tongs alongside it. Hey, rice and eggs go together too. Come on. Alright, put this one in front. Stick those in the back. Here we go. Let's make sure my other one has rosemary on it too. Again, my lunch salmon. And I'll find some other way of putting sauce on it, but we'll leave it at that. Ah, that's what else I forgot to do. I forgot to rub them dry, the salmons. Which I can't really do when they're out there. Anyway, it doesn't matter. This is what we've got. Now they're sitting in a pool of the sauce, which I think is fine. I mean, it doesn't look quite as good as like the thick stuff that doesn't flow at all, but it's made of the same stuff. You're in a pool of what looks like delicious buttery goodness, I think. And you've got a few appetizers on the side. So, you still have a full meal. And I'm going to try just a little bit of it on a small plate. Because I want to save that for pictures. I still want to take pictures of that. So I'm just going to take a small amount of this salmon. I'm going to put a little bit of the hollandaise sauce on it. Spoon that over. This is like my little sampler bit. Let's take 1 asparagus. Stick that on there. And I'm going to try it because I want to see if this is any good. So, there we go. Pan-seared salmon in hollandaise sauce with asparagus and rice cubes. Well, I'll tell you, the salmon is amazing. Actually, the holiday sauce adds to it. It's quite buttery. Crunchy asparagus. I'm going to go sprinkle a little bit of salt over all of this. I think that's the only real change I need to make here. Bit more salt. Bit in the lunch one. That's a bit too much salt, but we'll deal with that later. And I think this is good because I do want to turn this off now so I can use my phone to take pictures of that on the dining table. So there's dinner. It took me an hour to cook this. Again, I don't think this will happen very often. This is definitely not normally what I would do on a weeknight, especially now that it's 10 p.m. and I still have to eat dinner. But I think from what I tasted from that one down there, this is going to be worth it. This is going to be something great. And I've made, I don't know, one of my better dishes of the new year anyway. So enjoy your salmon with rice and asparagus and your somewhat thick hollandaise sauce. This is going to be amazing. Happy Valentine's Day to all the people who will be watching later, because I've seen no one join on the live stream, but you'll see this all later. Hour and 2 minutes, just a little bit over. I will keep them short next time. You will see very fast cooking, and you will have still delicious results. Until then, have a good night, have a happy Valentine's Day. And today on the day, yes, it is special just because there's no one else. Doesn't mean I don't care. I care enough to make an awesome meal, and that's, I think, Valentine's Day enough for all of us.